Hey everyone, welcome back to Mindful Morsels by Sam H. Lee. In every episode and post, I aim to help you do more with less. Specifically, I want to help people use tools like Notion, which is a productivity software, to make their lives slightly less stressful. I do this primarily through creating and sharing Notion templates with people, documenting cost of living in short form Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, and now through this podcast, in solo episodes and episodes with other people involved in Notion or general life improvement. Today, we're going to be talking about the simplest and most consistent way I personally use my Notion, which is that I write 1,000 words, or type is more accurate, every morning on my Notion pages before I do anything else. So let's get into how exactly I've been able to do this habit consistently every day for the past few months, and how you can do it as well if you feel like you need a little bit more structure or place to put what you're feeling onto a page. All right, this past summer, I have been transitioning from the school life, specifically college, to working life. I have a full-time job in DC, which is also where I went to school. And up until end of June, I was not sure where I would be post-grad. And I think after graduation, which was around the end of May, I needed to find a way to continue the job process, but also be able to process everything that I had been going through. And I was struggling because there wasn't a great way to do that, or a way that was super obvious, because I think when we're dealing with challenging moments in our lives, there are some obvious ways to make ourselves feel better, like eating healthily, getting enough sleep. But beyond the basic needs, kind of going up on the Maslow's hierarchy, like there needs to be almost a sense of like creative and personal fulfillment from what you're doing every day. And when you're in that limbo between school and work, and then even during work, that can sometimes be hard to find. So for me, I think that as somebody who was trying to transition into that post-grad life and then eventually the work life as well, I was struggling to find some sort of structure that worked for me on a day-to-day basis, even though I was living like a pretty relaxed life at home. I think that I just felt pretty disconnected from what was going on and not super motivated to be really aggressively looking for jobs like I had been pretty much for the whole school year. And overall, I just wanted to feel better about a daily routine and being intentional about something that I was doing. So writing has always been a good outlet for me personally. I actually was not able to get into like journaling, paper and pen before this past year, but that's been very helpful. But the main way that I write is through Notion. And I had been keeping a journal through Notion, but it was very sporadic. It didn't really serve a purpose beyond just a place where I would occasionally put down my thoughts. And up until post-grad, it didn't really need to serve a bigger purpose. But I thought that setting like a really good routine would probably involve combining two things that I really enjoy doing, which is using Notion for my work and my learning and writing. There's this author that I really, really like. His name is Oliver Berkman. He wrote a book back in 2012 that I still think is the best book I have read to this day, which is called The Antidote: Happiness for People Who Can't Stand Positive Thinking. And he also runs a newsletter, which I subscribe to, and I have read his posts about productivity and working. And one thing that he did recommend that he does is every day, every morning, he writes 3 pages of just words. Like, they're sentences, they make sense, but they're just for him. They could be complete trash. And
the point is to do it. Like, no matter what mood you're in, no matter what day it is, write 3 pages. For me, since Notion is currently pageless and it's hard to tell where a page is start and end, I translated that for myself to be 1,000 words per day. Starting the day off, no matter what, once I'm at my computer, once I open Notion, I'm writing what I call 1,000-word musings. I started this practice around early June, and now it is early September, and I've pretty much done it every day, which has been surprising to me because, as I'm sure we can all relate to, it's hard. It's hard to keep up habits. But I think because I knew so clearly I was seeking some form of stability when my life felt very much in flux in the post-grad transition, I was able to do that. Now, specifically, how I did that in Notion was on my dashboard, my overall dashboard that I use, I have an ongoing life tasks database. And basically, every day when I'm doing something that I think is notable or significant, sometimes as simple as like cooking lunch, I will add an item in the database, kind of like how you would fill in a cell on an Excel spreadsheet, for example. And I started using a page a day on Notion for these 1,000-word musings, and I filtered them based on the tag writing. So that way I can always look back really easily on what I was writing. If something is important that I write in those 1,000 words, it's really easy to transfer to another area of my Notion. And it's been really, really helpful in just like mentally getting ready for the day. You know how you wake up and you're trying to get ready for the day with breakfast? Well, for some of us, breakfast. I know that others of us do not eat breakfast, but getting ready with brushing your teeth, self-care stuff. This is like mental self-care in a way, like waking up and just immediately knowing that no matter what, you can get your first 1,000 words out and written, and from there it's onwards and upwards. It has left me feeling a lot more grounded, focused, and prepared for the day ahead. It also has improved my self-awareness about what is actually going on with now my job, but before that, what life was like post-grad and navigating, again, just the emotions of feeling like you're done, feeling like excited about what's next, and figuring out what that next step is. On the other hand, I think that the 1,000-word musings have prevented me from feeling overwhelmed by my daily responsibilities because I'm not writing it in any super rigid way of 9 a.m. do this, 10 a.m. do this, 11 a.m. do this, but I simply identify what are the most important things I want to do today. And it allows me to avoid a sense of disconnection from one's goals and values. I'm going to create a very quick Notion doc on instructions for how to start your own 1,000-word musings and share it as a page. I think there are enough journaling templates in Notion, and I'm not at that stage of where I can create one where I feel like it would be vastly different than the ones out there, and that's what I want to focus on. So I would really recommend this practice for anybody who is feeling even a little bit unmoored by what is going on in your life right now. That could be school, work, personal life, anything and everything in between. And at least for me, I think this daily, like 20-minute practice of 1,000-word musings have helped me start transforming from a more reactive, stressed individual to a proactive and grounded professional. And yeah, I'm excited to see if I can keep doing it. I have been able to keep up the 1,000-word musings for about 3 months now. And at least until the end of this calendar year of 2024, I don't see a clear reason as of now for why I would stop. So I hope that this very simple but effective way I use Notion can help someone out there. And the Notion page on how to implement this very simple, very easy 1,000-word musing yourself will be linked in the show description.
And there you have it. I hope this episode helped inspire you slightly to try and implement some sort of consistent routine on how you use your Notion or the tools you use to manage your life. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to like, follow/subscribe, and leave a review. That really helps with my show's ability to continue to consistently grow. Your support really does help me reach more people and continue to create valuable content of what my viewers and the audience really want to hear about. For those interested in getting started with Notion or improving their existing Notion workspaces, feel free to check out my Notion templates on Gumroad, which is the template selling platform that I use. The link will be in the description. Lastly, for daily insights on the cost of living, specifically in Washington, D.C., feel free to follow me on my Instagram at samhlee_, or my YouTube channel, which is as Sam H. Lee. Both accounts will be linked in the description. Thanks for tuning in. That's all for this time. We'll see you next time.